I'm not sure if all of y'all tried to catch all the racing this weekend, but damn, was there a lot of it. We're going to get into all of it. At least all the stuff that I got to see. There was stuff that, obviously we couldn't see because I'm not giving them money for Dirt Vision or Flow Racing because I don't got it. But there was a lot of stuff that was on TV, and I consider that a really good thing. For the racing world, I just think they could do a lot of them better. But again, I've done whole entire shows about that thing. But shout out also to Brandon Nicholson for liking the show after my comment. I appreciate it. Hopefully you enjoy it. And you can share it out to the world. Just like hopefully one day Monster Energy will notice all the shout outs. In fact, that literally I've been drinking it forever, but it would be nice for them to treat it like it mattered. A sponsorship or something. That's all I'm asking. But man, lots to get into, especially the damn near all but instant karma that happened yesterday in Long Pond, Pennsylvania. Thank you for that one. That was just and due, and I'm sure it doesn't help Kevin feel any better. But I know it made all of us feel better. Pretty much everyone. I mean, there's really in NASCAR, there's two groups of people. Either you're a Denny Hamlin fan or you're like me, and you think he's a narcissistic pile of garbage that wrecks people all the time, but then complains when anyone even looks at him wrong. Which, guess what? That actually is the truth about it. Look at all the times he's taken out people. Look how many times he took out Danica at Daytona just because he could. Chase at Martinsville. He has no problem wrecking other people, but then the second, oh my God, they get him, all hell happens to break loose. So he got his, but a lot of other stuff happened too. There's a lot of races to watch, like I said, the Indy doubleheader, SRX, all kinds of stuff from over the weekend. So, again, got some good stuff in here, got some long, ones in here, but it was all really good racing. So, this isn't me complaining when I say that there's a lot of it because it was all pretty damn good, in my opinion. Get us to the Fanatec GT World Challenge, a Watkins Glen on the long course. And again, I don't know about you guys. I think it was Tony that drove the IndyCar a few years ago on the long course while someone drove his cup car. And one day I'd like to maybe see them do it, maybe one day. Because, I mean, the longer course, I think, has more opportunities, for things to show more skills, but I don't think they'll ever will just because look what they did to Sonoma. Like, hey, we're going back to the old course. That lasted about 12 seconds, and they went back to the redo that cuts off the whole middle of the track because more passing zones that way. And people used to run there and pass in all those places back in the day. Like you had to be more technical to get around people then, not just outbreaking people. Again, it's the world of racing nowadays, but I think you should make people show more skill, and passing will take care of itself for the most part, except for aero packages that were running. They still haven't found a way to fix that one. But again, there's good stuff. Watkins Glen, it was a long one. Those things are really, really long. So I'm sure pretty much none of you actually did watch it. I'm pretty positive that was an over 2 hour event, but Laura Spinelli was on pole and it ran long and through, but it was really good. Very few commercial breaks, so that's the big one. I don't know if you watch a NASCAR race, an IndyCar race, anything that NBC or them are with, like there's a commercial every 14 seconds. And I think there's only like four during this whole entire thing, which is really a good change of pace and really cool. But Kurtz and Brown wins overall in the Pro-Am. Ward and Ellis came in second, and they were in the pros. And then Harrison and Farnbacher came in third in the Pro-Am. Again, great racing around the track. It was just so long, but they didn't give you a bunch of commercial breaks, which was my favorite thing of the whole thing, honestly. Because again, if you watch NASCAR, IndyCar, like, and they're having the races regardless of who's covering it, there is a million cautions, just like the IndyCar races over the weekend. Oh my God, did I ever think they just weren't going to stop? Like it was just one after another, after another, after another. Every time you turned around, there was another commercial break. Granted, thankfully, I had it recorded, so I got to fast forward through said commercial breaks. But do we really need to have a commercial every 12 seconds? Like there was a lot. That got obnoxious, even more so than normal. Even if there were like, oh, we're going picture in picture, who cares? I still have to listen to the commercials, which pretty much turns my brain completely off because they run the same like 8 commercials the whole entire time. Well, it does nothing for me, but good racing there. I got to see a second one in that series. That's a more recent one that I've found and gotten into. Again, all you gotta do if you have, I don't know about other providers, but I got Hulu Live TV. And all you gotta do is go down to auto racing. And there's a second category for motorsports, and you can go through and pick and choose whatever series you want them to record. And if you have Hulu, you can just hope that it actually records it because let's say they're not very good at that. But you can find cool stuff like that. You can find the Ferrari Challenge North America that was at Indianapolis. It was a quick 30-minute race on the road course. The Trofeo Pirelli, Jeremy Clark was on pole, then Jason McCarthy was first, Massimo Perino was second, and Jason Clark came in third. Again, tire degradation got him at the end, but he held on for a third place. He held on to second for the longest time, but they finally got him. And again, good racing, and it was quick. They got 2 races aired in a very, less than a 2-hour time span, which was very convenient. And then the Copa Shell, Michael Petramalo on pole, and then Charles Whitall was first, Petramalo was second, and Justin Rothberg came in third. And again, good racing. I don't remember. I think it was maybe CBS Sports. Don't quote me on that, but again, if you have Hulu, you can go find the network and they can go through all their stuff and you can see if it's there. Even though I think going through auto racing and all that is easier, but good racing in those, little cars and quick ones. And again, I like the Indy road course. I like street racing. Yeah, and no matter how much people complain, I really do think that the Indy road course was the better choice for NASCAR because those races really did get boring, for the Brickyard. I mean, who remembers during 2020 when Kevin and Denny were winning anything? Denny was up front. Kevin got to a certain point behind him, couldn't get by him. The only reason that Kevin was because Denny lost a tire. More karma, I think. But the aero package just didn't help. And am I for like the street course in Chicago? No. But doing something and keeping, the tradition of being at Indy and switching it to the road course, I think is the right move. And I just like watching anything race around there. I think it's a pretty cool little track. And this weekend coming up, lots of it. You got IRP and at the Motor Speedway on the road course for a bunch of guys. So that's going to be really exciting. I look forward to that. We'll get into all that Friday. But I think it was the right move. And I loved watching the race on there. But finally, gets us to American Flat Track, Port Royal Half Mile in Port Royal, Pennsylvania. They finally aired it. I talked about it forever ago. Again, from back home, Pennsylvania kid. Have lived there in a very long time, thanks to the Marine Corps, but still consider it home. It was good. I finally got to see it. Parts Unlimited singles. Cody Kopp was on pole. I know anyone that watches it, shocker, but those are really cool little races. So if you get a chance, find American Flat Track and watch those because I thoroughly enjoy them. But Cody Kopp came in first. Gautier came in second. Whale was third. Sadoff was fourth, and Lowe was fifth. And then the Mission Super Twins. Briar Bowman was on pole and went on to win pretty easily. Vander Koy was second, and Mies came in third. And Mies tried to make a run for second. He just could not get around him, but he sure tried. And again, an all red clay surface. There's just something about watching. Like they had the peat surface the last race I got to see. So there was rocks and all that in there. I just love how much they, change everything up. All the tracks are different. It's just like when you watched SRX or any other dirt thing, no matter where they go, like everything's a little different. Some of them are just, clay and mud, and dirt. Some are just dirt. Some are peat and dirt. Some are just strictly clay. Like they have all kinds of different things. And that's why I like watching American Flat Track. And because I would never have the intestinal fortitude to get on one of those and go sliding around like that. Granted, there's 8 screws holding the lower half of my body together, but never have I ever had the desire to do that. And it's really cool, again, racing. So if you've never seen it, go find it. Like really, go on, find it. Again, I think that was an FS1 thing. could be wrong, but lots of like real good, like exciting racing. I'm not seeing them just slide around, hit a rock, anything. Their foot catches. Like those guys get up and they get it. It's like apparently Daisy, as we all just heard, is trying to get Blade because she can't just learn to leave anyone alone because she's psychotic. But yeah, really good stuff there. I don't think anyone's going to stop Cody Kopp this year. I mean, he's just on a roll, and so is Briar Bowman. But Jared Mees, Bowman and Vanderkoy are always right there. So that one's going to be a good one for the Mission Super Twins. But Cody Kopp, man, just every race, he seems to be right there in the parts unlimited singles. And I think he's going to be hard to beat. But good stuff. I'm glad they finally aired it. Waiting for that for forever. And I didn't want to talk about it, the results without watching it, because I find that to just be garbage on my end. When I knew they were going to air it sooner or later, well, that later finally came, thank God. But good racing. A bunch of other series ran there too. They showed the highlights, but those were the two that got aired. And again, if you've never seen it, at least slow down and watch one. Just, see if you like it. You never know. I didn't ever get to really watch them. And the ex-wife was around just because she never wanted. That's what she wanted to watch. And she had the TV and all of that. And I didn't argue with it. So, I never got to see a lot of this stuff. And there's a lot of really good stuff out there. You just got to go looking for it and find it. That's the hard part. You got to make sure you find it and know where to look. And again, I'm sure everyone has a guide through whatever provider you have to find sports only, and then scroll through them. If you're on Hulu, Auto Sports is down there. You have to scroll really, really far to the right, but Motorsports is there too, and it does have different stuff in each of them. So make sure you do that and find them if that's what you have. Walter said he has, I think, DirecTV, something like that, and he can do that. Just go to sports, auto racing, and then click record all, I believe is what he said. So it's there. You just got to find it. Well, good luck, finding it. But I'm telling you, I highly recommend it because it's led to some pretty outstanding racing that I've gotten to see from a lot of different stories from all over the world. Like I'm watching Extreme E, British, championship stuff, British Touring Car Championship, like again, the Fanatec series, all kinds of stuff out there. Just got to look. Just got to look. Again, moving on. Lucas Oil. NHRA Denso Sonoma Nationals at Sonoma Raceway. Finals were all really great and close. Pro Stock Motorcycles, Joey Gladstone defeated Eddie Krawiak to get his first career win. He was very emotional after. He was close last week, mile high. He was close, but he came in second in that one. So I think he's going to have a hell of a career and future ahead of him, because that's just number one of many to come the way he's going. So congratulations to him. Pro Stock, Eric Enders defeated Greg Anderson in a close one. Nitro Funny Car, Bob Tasca III defeated John Force. And regardless of what anyone says, it should be considered highly amazing that John Force is still out there making finals at the ripe age of like 3 million years old. He's still got it. So that's really cool. And then he was there at the start line to see his daughter in the Nitro Dragsters, Brittany Force, defeat Mike Salinas, another even wins on the season. But just to see the excitement on his face, that's all I needed to see. Him that happy, like a proud papa, when his daughter went out there and did the thing. That was really cool. And I mean, I still can't believe 16, 17 time champion, and he's still out there getting it. And he's still out there very competitively getting it. Like some guys in some series that we all know hold on for far too long, and they aren't doing that good. John Force is still out there making finals at like 7,000 years old. And that's really actually super duper cool, in my opinion. Again, all of us know it. We all see, the fall off normally for people the older they get. So I don't think, I mean, from the way he's going now, he doesn't look like he's stopping anytime soon. And I'm okay with that. And if he gets to sit there and watch, his daughter Brittany Force out there setting records and stuff and winning, that probably makes it even more fun for him, because he's always, for so many years now, she's been right there with him. Well, he's getting older, so he's still got to be near her. And I think, that's another cool story, because people, hear them that how cool it is to be able to have family at the track most of the time in NASCAR and everything else. I mean, he's literally right there racing with her every weekend, which I think has to be the coolest part about it all for him. I appreciate it. I think it's pretty cool. I think a lot of people do, but lots of close, like, photo finishes out there at Sonoma too. Now they're back to normal after, the thin air in Denver. Bandamere. Like, so they had to do, extra everything because there's no air to fuel the motor. Like, it was really cool to see them out there doing their normal thing and not pistons and everything blowing out every like 9 seconds. But as exciting as that is, I'm sure it sucked to be the guys working on the cars. But again, good weekend overall. I'm glad again, even if John Force lost Seam in a final, Bob Tasca third should have got it last week in a mile high. He didn't. But Brittany Force getting the win. Eric Anderson, Greg Anderson, I mean, still on top of pro stock there and going anywhere. And Joey Gladstone definitely deserved that after the way he's been running. And I think it's many, many, many more to come. To get us to the NTT IndyCar Series, the doubleheader at the Iowa Speedway. First one was Saturday with the highvdeals.com 250. And Will Power was on pole, but Joseph Newgarden just drove away. It was his race. It was his weekend until it wasn't, when bad luck struck on Sunday. But Pato O'Ward was second. Will Power finished third. Scott Dixon fifth. Jimmy Johnson finished 11th, and he needed a good run regardless of oval or whatever. He's just had so many bad runs the last couple of weeks. He needed that. And glad to see it. Helio Castroneves was 16th, and then Colton Herta finished 24th, and Helio had a really terrible weekend as well. But gets us to yesterday's Hy-Vee salute to Farmers 300, so an extra 50 miles. Will Power on pole again. Helio got lapped on 37 again. Terrible weekend for him. Terrible weekend for his teammate too. So, into the way he ran last year, I didn't see that one coming. So hopefully they figure something out, because they said they were terrible and they tried to throw all kinds of stuff out to make it better for Sunday, and it didn't help. So see, how he can bounce back, but that wasn't like him. And Joseph Newgarden dominated until something broke and he hit hard. But I will say, find his interview if you didn't see it after that. He was still very professional and positive on the team and good after the wreck. And it was something broke, but that was probably one of the nicest I was dominating and now I'm not finishing it interviews I've ever seen in my entire life. You can see the disappointment on the man's face, but that was one of the best interviews I've seen after someone dominates and didn't get the win. Like, that was glorious. He could have got the points lead if it didn't happen too. So that kind of sucked. And he kept it very good and professional. So shout out to Joseph Newgarden for being like so gracious and just so good after that. Because you watch NASCAR, we all do. Most of them are pretty pissed when something like that happens. And that was the best interview positive I've seen in forever. So shout out to him. But after that happened, Pato O'Ward got the win. She was second yesterday. Will Power got second, who was third on there. McLaughlin third, Dixon fourth, so he moved up a spot as well. Jimmy Johnson up to fifth, and points leader Erickson is sixth. It was a good day for Walter's favorite people, Chip Ganassi. He doesn't say very nice things about him, but to have Scott Dixon, Jimmy Johnson, and Marcus Erickson in sixth, fourth, fifth, and sixth. Jimmy was racy all over the place, making moves in places people wouldn't go. And he definitely earned that fifth. Everyone in commentary just shut up. But I know teams that every point helps towards a championship. But let Jimmy have one good. If he's having a good moment, let him get his first top five. He's not going to get like any more. And yes, the championship should do something. But if he's that much faster than him, I always say let him go. I'm not a big fan of all that. Well, he needs the points, so sorry, you're not allowed to pass him. Like, I hate when people do that. I'm sure a lot of people hate when people do that. So I was glad that they let him get by. And a great day for Jimmy. Again, he looked really, really good. First top five. They're all worried about him. What's he going to do when he hits the ovals? Because all the speed, like, he's taking that to like a duck to water, except for at Indy. So that was really a good run to actually get to see that. Colton Herta got a 12th, Alex Blow 13th, Alexander Rossi 18th, and Helio was all the way back at 21st. Again, terrible weekend for him and his teammate. I don't know what the hell that was. And it's nothing that any of us or them or anyone expected to see them, that far off. So hopefully they figure that out, because, yeah, that really did suck. Very uncharacteristic of him there. So we're off to Indy. We'll see how it works out, the road course and all that. A lot of people are going to be there this weekend. So I'm really excited about it because, again, they're on the course, but I expect Helio to be good. I don't think Jimmy's going to be nearly as good as fifth, but it was just weird to see him that far off because they normally aren't. There's a reason he's as respected and all that in the IndyCar Series. So hopefully they get that one figured out because that was weird. The F1 Lenovo French GP, Charles Leclerc on pole, and he had a good lead. I mean, if you watch the wreck, you can see they showed his tires. Yeah, they were blistered to bejesus, and but you got to be pushing as hard as you can. And I respect him, admitting all that in the post wreck interview. He was doing everything he could on those old blistered tires for, in the lead, and keep as good a gap as he can before all the pits started, and it just worked out terribly for him. I understand the frustration that he has, but I'd rather wreck out of the lead with blistered tires, knowing I had a good car and I was just, pushing it as hard as it could and something bad happened, than run garbage all day, if that makes any sense to anybody. So, it does suck, but especially with, Max winning because he just drove way farther. But I would take that. You got pole and you're in the lead and you just happen to be on old blistered tires before pit stops and you lost it again. That's better than running like the Haas cars did all weekend, way back there, 15th and 18th, and you just can't figure anything out or get any better. At least in my opinion, I would take that over the alternative any day because at least you have good cars and that you're fast enough to win. And it wasn't anywhere near the end of the race. So, if that happened with like 2 or 3 to go, maybe a little bit more pissed off. But at least you were up there. At least Charles Leclerc was running good. He was, holding Max at bay, which very few people have done all year, which is another good thing because he has just been dominating. But shout out to him. No matter what anyone says, I'd rather be in those shoes than just terrible and suck all day. There was contact between Zhou Guanyu and Nick Schumacher, and Sergio Perez and George Russell ran into each other as well in the race, but nothing crazy came from any of it. Guanyu had to get a new wing put on, but that was it out of all of it. So, very few incidents and everything, and good racing in there as well. Like Sainz, what he did was, amazing. Come through, have to go and get that, do that 5-second penalty. He came in with what 10 to go, got, did it and drove up, fifth. If you stayed out, could he have been farther ahead? Yeah. Because 5-second penalty doesn't do it during the race. They add it to the end, all that, however it worked out. But he agreed with their decision, which is the appropriate thing to do. They're the engineers, the team, they figure all this stuff out, but good on, him for that. And again, his teammate was up front, no problem. So they both have speed. It's just getting everything to fully work, which has been the problem, which is why Max has such what seems like an insurmountable lead. I mean, I don't see him not even a couple races with no points. He has, I think, about a 63-point lead or something. So it's going to take a miracle to catch him, but it's still possible. I'm not saying it isn't. So we'll see how it all works out. But Max Verstappen got another one. Lewis Hamilton and George Russell, got second and third. So it was good to see the first Mercedes double podium finish of the season. Would it have happened if Leclerc didn't have his trouble? No. I mean, will we ever know? No. But no matter how you get it, they got it. And for them to be right there, that was only one spot. So they would have been third and fourth. So to see them both that good and competitive, I think is good. Because again, get a third team in there that can at least actually honestly race for podium finishes, to have both of them. I think that'll just be good for the sport as a whole, just because of how much it's been dominated by Ferrari and Red Bull. It's good to see, Mercedes in there at all. But Checo Perez, Sergio Perez fourth, Carlos Sainz got fifth. Again, he agreed with it. It's good to see Mercedes do good. It sucked to be Haas, with Mick finishing 15th, Kevin Magnussen finishing 18th. Terrible day for Haas F1. I don't know what was up there, but they looked off all weekend. Again, at least, they weren't good like one day and then absolute garbage the next. So it makes no sense. They just seemed off the whole time. But there were a couple races where they all got points. So I'm sure that again, they just need to build on that. All they need to do is they were a bad weekend and get back at it. And I think they'll be, really, really good. It's just, it was a bad weekend for them. Like they haven't looked that bad in a couple weeks. And it sucks to see it, but yeah, I know they'll figure it out. I know they'll figure it out. And you see that one? That, my friends, is called Medicare Assistant. Because apparently, no matter how many times you tell them no or how many numbers you block, they will continue to try to call you. This gets us to the W Series, which was also in France for round 4 of their championship season. Visser was on pole. Trouble for the 44 of Abby Eaton right on the start, right up on another car at the start. I don't know what happened, but she was out and damaged right away. And then my big problem with it, because normally the FIA, like all their people, are really good, getting people off the track. But like it was only a 30-minute race. And between just 2 of the safety cars, those two, they wasted 14 minutes of it at least. The first one was 8 minutes. They had another one for 6 minutes, 14 minutes trying to get the track clear in a 30-minute race. Like you might as well just stop it at that point if that's what you're going to do. Literally. Like I don't understand what the hell took so long. But again, Chadwick dominating, got the lead within a few turns on lap 1. She's just been dominating all season. The few races I've gotten to see, because again, it's hard to find them on TV. But thankfully, I did find them, and they're on. And so it records now. Again, easy to do if you find it on. Just hit the button; it'll pull up the series page. You can do it. But good stuff. It's just no one's going to catch Chadwick. It's just she's gone, in my humble opinion. But Bailey Garcia was second. Nerea Marti was third. And again, it was good racing. There's good racing here and there. They just wasted 14 minutes of it at least under safety cars for just 2 incidents. And that's far too long. Like that's a NASCAR thing right there. No one should want to strive to be like NASCAR when it comes to at least cautions and how long they run, especially once it don't involve anything. But Formula 2, they also race. It wasn't televised for some reason. I know I said I don't want to talk about it, but that one isn't going to get aired at all. American Flat Track, they get to it later. Amsoil Off-Road, they get to it later. You'll find it. ARCA stuff, they air it later. You'll find it. F2 is not going to be on at all. Quote me on that one. But the sprint race, first was Lawson. Duruvala was second. And Drugovich was third. Then if you get to the actual feature race, Iwasa was first. Pourchaire was second. I know I messed that one up. Vesti third. Drugovich fourth, Duhan fifth, Lawson sixth, Daruvala seventh, Novalek eighth, Nissany ninth, and Enzo Fittipaldi rounding out 10th. And again, I like the races. It's just physically impossible to find them. And I'm like, there's not even me trying to cop out. Like, you never find them. We got to see it. I think there might have been the one that actually wasn't aired either when they were all at Silverstone. But again, contracts, all I just don't like when they mention it. Now, this is happening too when they know you're never actually going to be able to see it because no one's recording anything and it won't get aired, at least here. So, not the biggest fan of that, but couldn't not mention it. Would have been rude. Even though I know I just said, but again, the ones I know I'm going to be able to see in a week or so, I have no problem, waiting to see that. And then I give you the results. I tell you what's happening, and then I tell you the results after it happens, and I get to see it physically. It's never going to happen with F2, sadly. They have good races, great racers. It's just not going to happen. It's not their thing. Sadly. I don't make the rules, though. If I did, we'd have speed back or something, just so we could have something with all the racing on it, no matter what, because there is enough racing to fill up all of it. And if you don't get to watch everything live, because there's so much going on, at least we'd get to see it in a reasonable amount of time. Sorry, my grandmother called now, and I'm a popular human being at this point. But SRX Sharon Speedway season finale, 100% red clay surface, heat 1. Michael Waltrip on pole. There's there's a lot of people damaged by the end of it. Joey Logano on commentary, and I liked it. I thought he was good on commentary, Jared. I said I'd like to see him. Maybe do an SRX race last year, and the internet exploded on me. I don't see why. Like, Logano's changed a lot recently. He really has, and he still has his moments, but I think he's mellowed out and grown, like Denny Hamlin. And I'd love to see him. If they have all those other people in the races, and he could be in the booth, why not have him in a race? Like they said, that'd be the end of SRX. Why? Giving someone else a chance to drive. Better drivers you have. Everyone's the same. It'd be great competitive thing just to have him in there to see what he could do with all those guys. I think he would add a lot to it. He's a cup champion. So it would make sense for him to be there, but apparently I was wrong and I got my head taken off repeatedly for even saying it. But crazy, I tell you. But Ryan Newman got first in Heat 1. Mikey was second. Marco Andretti third. Heat 2. Dave Blaney on pole, hit the wall, fell back to fifth. Well, up there with Chase Elliott won. Tony Kanaan was second. Bobby Labonte was third. And then the main event. Chase Elliott got the win. Tony Stewart was second. Marco Andretti was third. And the new SRX champion for season 2, Marco Andretti. Look at him getting up there and doing that damn thing. That was really cool to see. I see people saying all kinds of there's point discrepancies at one race and Newman should have got it. Whatever. I'm just happy that we got to see, some good racing there. Here, along the races, there were some duds, but I did enjoy that they didn't have the caution laps count this time. I don't know why they don't do that every time. It's not like they're running at tracks it takes like Pocono length, where it's like almost a minute a lap. Like they're, getting quite a few laps in every minute at these tracks. So I don't know why they can't caution laps at all. I really do think that they should move on and not do that. Next season, I think they should keep the caution laps not counting. I think it's a better product for the fans. I think it's better for all of us. And, that's really what we should be striving for is a better experience for the fans. And hell, the racers, they all go out there wanting to win. Like when they were putting, like last weekend, and they're under caution forever trying to get Haley back into the race. So they're pumping water into her car. Like, think what would have happened if they didn't have any of those. Like the fans will get a better show. The drivers that want to win would get a chance to go instead of losing 10, 15 minutes to that. Like, do stuff like that for the third season. I think they'll be in really, good shape. I did thoroughly enjoy them doing that because, again, you got, racing every single lap. There was no obnoxiously long breaks just for the sake of it. So it'd be really cool if they did that for next year. We'll see. Only time will tell, but I liked it. I did it. I thought it was a good season. And congratulations to, again, Marco Andretti for getting the championship. And that was the first time Tony Stewart. Now he's 3-1 at SRX dirt races. So thanks Chase Elliott for beating him, even though everyone hates Chase Elliott too, and I don't understand why. Met the kid. Super humble guy. His exact words were, "Can I be a dick and get a picture with you?" Because I know he's trying to check into that hotel and get the hell out of there, Dodge and not be seen, especially with the daily driver he was driving, which didn't, the little beater ish. It was an older car, so you wouldn't think it was him. Good dude. And he won Darlington his first try as a senior in high school, won Xfinity Series championship that year. Like, he's good. And I'll never understand why people hate him. I don't get it, but NASCAR fans, one for wrestling fans, they'd be the most finicky, miserable people, fan base on the planet. And I'm not going to correct myself or apologize on that one. Can't ever make 90% of them happy. It gets us to the ARCA Menards race. At Pocono, Sammy Smith on pole. 57 went around in lap 1 and turn 1. You saw the big smoke. It was right on camera. And Fox just panned out and went to someone else and then mentioned it. And like, oh, and he's just slow. Like, they have no mention of him even spinning out. Like, if it wasn't on camera for that second, I guarantee you they wouldn't have said it. They just knew they got Colin. Yeah, that was on camera. Like, do better, Fox. We should get to hear about everything and see it all. You have the cameras there. If you have the cameras there to do the race, bring the truck for the one, because there was 2 races on Fox. The truck race was on Fox, which means they had the good Fox cameras there and setups for everything, like show everything. Stop being so shitty with your coverage. It isn't that hard. I mean, hell, they still haven't said anything about Jessica Friesen barrel rolling at Knoxville. NBC is the one that told us about it, and they didn't even have cameras there. It was just mesmerizing, but God, do better. Amber Balcan gets turned on lap 15, a big wreck, hard one, and a red flag. And shout out to Tony Breidinger for getting through there clean. But like I said on Friday, like I complained, like I did the short the other day, it got stopped early. Why? Because red flags, and they did like 3 breaks during the race. Like, you started at 6:30 and you expected to get through that many laps with that many breaks, which is going to be close enough as it is. Well, you expected no cautions? Like, whoever is doing that, if you say you're doing these races to help, draw more fans and attention, money, sponsorship, give all the sponsor. Like, how the hell are you starting a race at Pocono at 6:30 p.m. when it's that long? when you know there's breaks too, which means everything has to go perfectly to a T for it to not get screwed up and end early, just like one at Talladega, which they could have ran because they got the full Xfinity pre-show in. Like they could have let them finish that race and then just hurried to get all that stuff done because the Xfinity race finished on time. Now, why do you keep screwing the ARCA Series? Like I said it on Friday. I said, what? They're not getting it in. And here we are now on Monday, and they didn't get it in. And it's like common sense, but yet here we are every time. It does not take that much brain power to not suck that bad. I'm just throwing it out there. We all saw it coming. I say it here, it happens there. Like, and it rained too. Who didn't see that coming? But they got the race on time. Like, why'd they start it that late? I'll never understand. But whoever's in charge of that, like I said the other day on the short, should be fired. Because they just can't keep doing this stuff repeatedly and not have anything different happen. But Taylor Gray got the win. Nick Sanchez was second, Brandon Jones third, Roger Caruth fourth, Daniel Dye fifth, and Tony Breidinger got a top 10. Again, see, Roger Caruth, Nick Sanchez, and Daniel Dye right there. They're always right there in the top, 3 to 5, racing each other for that championship. So it's good racing. I just don't understand how we keep having the same, like, stupid problem over and over again. Like, do better for them. They deserve better. And if you're really trying to help them and grow a fan base and get ratings and all that, like, no one's going to want to watch something when they know it's going to be shortened every single time, which gives the sponsors less TV time. The fans get less of a show. The drivers get less experience. Like it does. It's counterproductive to everything that they say it's for. So do better on that, for the love of God. I'm tired of repeating myself. And I'm sure everyone else is tired of repeating themselves as well. Which gets us to the Camping World Truck Series CRC Brake Clean 150. The Onion Todd Bodine started 34th in his 800th and final NASCAR start. That's a lot of starts. Congratulations to Todd Bodine on all of that. And Marcus Lemonis and Camping and like everyone involved to get him the 5 starts this year to get to 800. That was really cool. Yeah, you don't get to see stuff like that all the time. So shout out to them. With Zane Smith on pole, Chandler Smith second after it was qualifying was rained out. Caution on lap 1 and tunnel turn. But the big story coming out of it was Todd Bodine's day ending when him and Haley made contact. And honestly, I just thought it was a racing incident. Didn't think that Haley even knew he was there. And again, spotters have a hard time right there. Yeah, but I don't think Haley would. She said it was retaliation. I don't think that she would intentionally wreck him. I honestly just don't think she knew he was there. And we saw the Cup guys and all them have the same trouble. Xfinity people, everyone have the same problem right there in that part of the track because it's hard for the spotters to pick everything out from where they are to down there just because of the angles and everything. So I don't think it was anything. He seemed to think so, but yeah, it is what it is. My opinion does not matter. But yeah, racing incident to me. Chandler Smith won stage 1. At the same time, Zane Smith locked up the regular season championship. So good on him. Those points will help going into the playoffs. I think they said he had like 30 some, so almost 40. So congratulations to him on getting that. Shout out to Fox again, coming back, and they're already going into turn 1 on the restart. So it's, heaven forbid they didn't come back 10, 15 seconds late. Like, how fast this stuff goes. You can't be that bad at everything, especially when you've been doing it for this long. Twice in one race. That's kind of completely mesmerizing. But Zane Smith, throttle issues, just 17 to go. Damn shame, but it is what it is. But Chandler Smith got the win. Ryan Preece got second. I'll keep saying he deserves better than what he's getting as part-time racer here, there, and everywhere. And the emergency driver guy for Stuart Haas, like, he deserves better. He's earned better. I don't understand how Ty Dillon, not Gibbs, got a ride in the Cup Series, or Harrison Burton Preece is doing a fill-in driver in random races here, there, and everywhere when he can. It makes zero sense. He better get something better than that because he keeps proving it every time he gets in something. But yet here we still are with idiots having rides and not him. John Hunter Nemechek third, Hocevar got a 5th, Matty D got a 12th after running pretty good all day, but the way things have gone, a 12th. Yeah, it wasn't what he needed. He needed to win to get into playoffs, but 12th is a 12th, and I think they'll do a lot better next year. Again, he's had so many, races where bad things happen. He made mistakes. Like, there's nothing you could do about it. But look at it, the level they're at now compared to where they were, in years prior. He has helped them. He earned his contract extension. It's only for a year, and that's really actually cool in my opinion. So good on him. Matt Crafton got 15th, locked in the playoffs. Good for that was the big story. Was he going to do it? I figured he would because him and Enfinger, had a decent enough lead. Yeah, they had a good bubble, so figured they were gonna get in, but it was good to see him do it. So hopefully he could pick it up because it just has not been a good year for him. And again, we've seen Tony go into the playoffs and be like, yeah, I don't even deserve to be here, and then win a championship after winning 5 races. So he could turn it on. You never know. It's just we'll see how it goes. And then a terrible day for Haley Deegan, finished 33rd out of 36. Again, overall, just terrible day. I'm hoping she better be staying in the Truck Series next year because she looked okay last year, and now she's having like the sophomore slump or something because it's been terrible, like terrible. So let's see how that works out. Xfinity Series, explore the Pocono Mountains 225. I used to explore them every day when I lived there, but I did appreciate that they had the same girl do the Truck and Xfinity Series anthems. I found that to be cool. Justin Allgaier was on pole. Ty Gibbs second. Raja Caruth in the 44 makes a mistake and takes out 36 of Alex Labbe on lap 3. Both of them hard hits. It was off of turn 3 into that pit wall there. Yeah. And people watching it might have said they keep making such a big deal about them extending that pit wall. That 100 feet made a big old difference repeatedly this weekend. So that's why they keep mentioning it. But he handled it. He took it. Yeah, he owned it, which is all you can ask for a young driver like that. And normally doesn't make mistakes, but yeah, hard hits. Turn 3 just it got everyone from Cup champions, like everyone seemed to have trouble there. But Allgaier led all of stage 1, gets the win, comes out of pits in 11th or 12th after a slow stop. Teammate Noah Gragson leads all stage 2 and wins it. Again, look what Junior Motorsports has been doing. Why do you think I keep saying I'm going to keep picking them until someone gives me a reason not to? And no one's found the consistency to do that. So I'm going to keep picking them. But the wreck with Jeb Burton, like that was, thank God he didn't catch the wall at the angle he could have. Man, I could even, if you can and launching off of him, going over and landing on his roof and just sliding. So, it wasn't like this horrifying thing. It absolutely sucked to be the 48. Like Ricky, that had to absolutely, suck. But thank God, Jeb did not hit the barrels because they're right there at the end of pit road. He just missed them. Slid on his roof was perfectly fine. So good on NASCAR. The cars being safe and all that. And thank God again he didn't go head on into the barrels there at the end of pit road because I think that could have been absolutely catastrophic. So yeah, crazy stuff. But everyone got out okay, which is the important thing for all of us to really want in all of it, regardless of who it is. Everyone should still want to see everyone get out of their car safe after a wreck, regardless of how you feel about them personally. You should want everyone to be safe. But Noah Gragson barely holds off Ty Gibbs for the win. Obviously, Ty Gibbs second, Josh Berry third, AJ Allmendinger fourth, Sean Creed fifth, Sam Mayer and Justin Allgaier in sixth and seventh. Holy JRM Batman. What's out? 4 of the top 7. Like Junior Motorsports is just on fire right now. And going into the playoffs, that's going to mean a few more races, but I don't see any sign of them slowing down. People peaked before him, but they haven't peaked. Like they're just rolling through everything, especially on ovals. So good on them. But Landon Castle got in 11th. That's good after getting DQ'd after a great run. New Hampshire, Herbst was 12th, Brandon Brown 13th. And Santino Ferrucci, glad to see him. Clint Boyer's guy there, but he admitted that he, was the cause of that wreck. And they made a mistake, and it's good to see young drivers, him, Raja. Everyone seemed to be really good at admitting that they screwed up, which you don't get to, look how many people actually, admit to it in the world of racing anywhere, but especially, young guys coming through and admitting it, that's good. Now, if only some of the older guys could admit their screw ups, I think we'd be in better, place, but they're all the entitled guys that have been there for forever, and they're probably never going to do that. But finally, to the Cup Series, M&M's Fan Appreciation 400. Funny to see them sponsoring the race, and they're leaving Kyle, which is wise got no ride next year right now. But it's just mesmerizing in and of itself. But before we get into the race, Kurt Busch, that wreck in turn 3 in qualifying absolutely sucked. Head injury, concussion-like symptoms. Not any fun. Been there a lot. Last one was enough for me to say I'm gonna bubble wrap myself, my head at least. It's scary, but glad they had him sit it out. I just want to know one thing from everybody. And it's just one quick thing. Anyone that saw it, I'm not sure if I shared the picture to the page, but right there, if you've seen the picture, NASCAR Cup Series champion on his fire suit that very clearly fits him very well. And, obviously, Kurt's NASCAR Cup Series champion, obviously, but here's the real question. If they just found out that morning that he wasn't cleared, how in the world did they have a fire suit, McDonald's and all that ready to go for him like that? Like, there's guys that race in other series that are scheduled for months and they wear their cup stuff and don't have a fire suit at all for the team they're driving for. And yet there's Ty Gibbs in a fire suit already like that from just that morning. They made the announcement like they knew and perfectly fine there. And all the people, that I saw on the internet saying, oh, it could have been Kurt's but well, if it was Kurt's, no, have Kurt stand next to Ty Gibbs. They are nowhere near the same size at all for it to fit him like a glove like that, or Bubba, but he wouldn't have the Cup Series champion thing on there. I mean, how the hell did they get a fire suit printed off that fast if it was the last second thing? Because it wasn't Kurt's. Look, go find a picture of both of them, put them next to each other. Nowhere near the same size human being, build anything. So that one seems sketchy and confuses me a little, but I'm glad that he didn't race, and I hope him a speedy recovery. Again, like Junior said, just listen to what they say to you. That's all you can do. Just listen, take it easy, don't do anything stupid, and you will be back by Indy, next week, this weekend coming up. But all you gotta do, let's sit there, do what they say, don't do anything stupid. The issues do go away, even as big ones as I've had. So, oh man, hey, but how the hell did Ty Gibbs have that already? That'll still bug me. Great crowd as well. There was used to be great crowds when I was growing up. I went there, 4 straight years to both races. So 8 weekends a year I was there. After I stopped doing that, I worked there. It was really good. The crowd looked good in the grandstands. And again, everyone, there was a bunch of empty seats. Like, I don't know if you guys anyone understands it, but you could fit a lot of people on that straightaway in those grandstands. A lot of people. It's kind of like LA Memorial Coliseum. You could have thousands of people there and it looks like 3 people are there. Not me making jokes. Like, literally, it's like the LA Memorial Coliseum. 10,000 people looks like about 10 people. Just the way it is. But the grandstands look great. The infield looked great. Used to work in that infield, which was great. I like the money. It was good to see that. Hamlin on pole, Kyle Busch second. All right, we'll get to that. Kyle Larson won stage 1 under caution. Josh Bilicki, whatever broke, I don't know if it was a hard hit for him. The 77 was glad to see he was okay afterwards because that was a lick. Again, it has to happen. Like, when those things happen, it always seems to happen in the really fast parts of the track. It never happens anymore where everyone's going slow. It's always right there when you're just topped out and something bad happens. But glad to see he was okay. Because again, I just don't like hard hits at Pocono. Because when you hit there, you're hitting. But Kyle Busch won stage 2. Feel bad for Blaney because he had a good race going until he had that tire. Made it all the way around the track miraculously without, anything exploding. Got there. No caution was thrown, no anything. And then later blew a tire and ate a wall, which absolutely sucked. But it was off of 3. Everyone seemed to have problems there. And we saw 2 people had problems off 3 flat tires that then went down pit road backwards. So I'm waiting to see what NASCAR is going to do about that. I think, just leaving it at what they did, a little penalty, go to the back. I'm okay with that. Because, I mean, really, the way the cars are built and the way those tires have been coming apart all year, like, one, they probably weren't getting all the way around if they had to go all the way around. And if they did, the tire, like, if that got tore up while they were trying to get around, the car's blown apart and it's over. So I think they should just leave it at moving to the back. Personally, I mean, it's not like it was under green or anything or anyone was in the way. If that was the case, then yes. But with the caution coming out like that and pits being closed, Might just give him the penalty of the back and let her move on, because it's better than blowing apart racetracks and a longer caution because they're picking up pieces of tire and car. So hopefully they leave it at that. We will see. And then we get to, the good stuff, like Denny wrecking Chastain, and then later admits pretty much that, that he did it on purpose, but ruined Harvick's day as well. And his teammate Chris Bell got in the wall. He finished well. But I'm going to get into it. But there's a very large difference between retaliation for what Ross did and just being an asshole. It really is. And Denny's always won. But yeah, there's a difference. I'm going to, I'll get on when we're done with everything. And by the way, broadcast team, stop making excuses for him. What he did there was a different line altogether than what Ross did to him. Denny's really good at confusing that line. That's why I think he's a dick. But whole of the story, Ross admitted that he had it coming, but yeah. I don't think he had it coming in front of the whole field. Everyone's coming up to speed, Pocono, but that's another thing. We'll get to it. Penalties and all that moved first, second place finishers back to 35th and 36th, but gives Chase Elliott the win. Good for him. Tyler Reddick got a second. Suarez up there in third. Another good run. Bell fourth. Larson fifth. McDowell up in sixth. Good to see. Truex got a seventh. Bubba. Wallace finished eighth, so good on Bubba. You moving back 2 spots. It was still a top 10 finish, so congratulations to him. Eric Jones in ninth. Austin Dillon 10th. Brad Keselowski up in 14th. Good to see them having a good run. Look how bad they've been this year so far, so that was good to see. Ty Gibbs, 18th. Corey LaJoie, 19th. Ty Dillon finished 22nd with Harrison Burton behind him 23rd. Kevin all the way back to 27th after the Denny incident, and Ross Chastain finished 35th. But the best part of it is that Ross Chastain finished ahead of Denny after Denny intentionally wrecked him in front of the field, and then Denny got penalized and finished worse than him. So it's like double karma, which I'm okay with, because again, I just think he's a dick. But a lot of good stuff that happened, this weekend. Mercedes running good. Fox sucks. SRX was good. Hopefully they continue the pit, the caution laps not counting, because I think that'd be better overall for everything. Turn 3 of Pocono. Lots of trouble there all weekend. So whatever that was, we saw some big hits from it. We saw guys go around. There's a lot of head-on hits there, but there's all kinds of stuff we got to see from there. So I don't know what it was, but we will figure that out, hopefully. And then we get into, the Denny thing, which, by the way, in case no one knows who I'm talking about and you're watching the video, that guy right there on the screen behind me, that guy, that complete and utter piece of garbage. We've heard me say it repeatedly that I've had a problem with him for a very long time. When he came out and he was an upstart, sure, everyone comes up when they're young. They're cocky. They're all that. A bag of chips, but I know my respect for him was already gone, but we go back a few years to Daytona. When Junior won that last one, Austin Dillon went up into the fence, engine ripped out, cars all over God's creation, and he told everyone to shut up until he got out of the car, and there's a victory lane, said they weren't celebrating until Austin got out of the car and he knew he was okay. That's called respect. Denny won the 500 with Newman literally upside down. Everyone thinks he's dying on fire, and he's just doing burnouts right there and blowing smoke like he doesn't give a damn, because the only person Denny Hamlin has ever given a damn about is Denny Hamlin. Look at all the times he wrecked Danica just because he could at Daytona. Look at all the times he's wrecked other people. Look at all the times he's wrecked Chase in playoff races out of the lead so he can get the win and eliminate Chase at Martinsville. He does dirty things to people all the time. And the second one, which I don't know, the first, there's a difference though. Ross got ran over and just used up for years in garbage equipment, but so I think that's where a little bit of it comes from. But like the first one, sure. Did he turn you up in front of the whole entire field and completely ruin your day and other people's days in any of his incidents with you? No. When it's a restart and you're double file all the way back through the whole entire field, and he just ran out of racetrack, and you run him into the wall when he gave you 3 car widths, and you end up ruining Harvick's day, who needed it, trying to get into the playoffs because you just want to drive like a dick. Like, there's a fine difference between what he did to you and what you did to him, and ended up costing Harvick at the same, all the way back to 27th after having a really good day, being right up there. You screwed him for nothing. Like, and he says, what? He's going to keep doing it until we get our respect back. Like, turning someone in front of the whole field and wrecking other people's days, I'm pretty sure is the last thing that's going to get any of your damn respect back. You just keep losing more and more because why? You're a narcissistic scumbag. And I'll say it all the time with that stupid face right behind me. You show respect for other people and understand what you do as a driver to others. Think that, it's not just everyone out to get you when you drive like a dick all the time to lots of people, like wrecking someone in front of the field and ruining other people's days. That's not retaliation. That's just being a piece of shit. Or the way to put it, sorry for the profanity, but I mean, you can comment. I don't see any other way around it. Putting him into the wall in front of the whole field. And they knew there's only one spot for him to go in front of the whole field. Everyone came off of that turn as he waited right to the exit. No matter what, he was coming down in front of people. Thankfully, it was only that, because it should have been a lot worse. But there was no way no other cars were getting involved. Where he did it, right there at the exit. Like, boing, he was going to be right there at everyone's exit point. He knew it. He doesn't give a damn. That's my problem with Denny. The only person Denny gives a single about is himself, and he always has. And that's why here we are with him getting the penalties. Or he's never gotten a championship or every dumb thing. What? You act like a dick and like you're better than everyone and do whatever you can. And so, woe is me all the time, even though you treat people like trash on the track all the time for years. Instant karma like this. I'm sorry, it just happens way too often to him in particular for it to not be. Like, drive like an adult and a human being. People, believe it or not, will hate you less and you might get the things you want. But doing what he did, that was unnecessary. And that was just garbage. And hopefully the whole world knows it. And I'm going to keep telling you exactly how I feel about that guy every week until he grows up and acts like an actual man. At least Ross owned it. What? He owes me one. And he literally said, so I did it so I earned my respect back. But I reckon other people's races, chances to get in the championship in the playoffs. Like, when did he do that to anyone in any of your instances? Oh, wait, he didn't. Have you cared about anyone besides yourself, Denny? Oh, wait, you haven't. It's just me. I just say he's got a lot of bad karma building up. But with that, I'm going to stop talking because it's been almost an hour, and thank Walter was supposed to be on here with me because it would have been even longer. But again, lots of race, 3 pages worth of racing. And that's just actually giving you the cliff notes. I mean, there was a lot of stuff that happened. But again, thank you for watching, listening. Another thanks to Brandon Nicholson. Hopefully you enjoyed it, my brother. Again, rate the show, on the Facebook page, YouTube, Apple Podcast, Spotify, like all the places you can. Go on there, subscribe, like it, share everything out. You can do it on Good Pods too. And thank you to Kiki and Mick Manhattan on Good Pods for the rates and the likes on the shows from over the weekend. See, I told you people, I see it. I appreciate it. I am paying attention, to names out there and everyone that helps me out. So again, subscribe, like, share, comment, do everything. YouTube videos popping up in the top right corner sooner or later here to tell you, hit there to subscribe. Do it. Like the video, write a comment on it. Even if you're just listening to it, go back and do that because it helps it pop up more in the list under racing news for people if you hit that like, and that helps me out immensely. And I hope you enjoyed the thing. I'll be back with, we're doing a special on Wednesday. Not going to tell you what it's about, but it's very deserving for the person. And no, it's not me cussing out Denny Hamlin again, even though I'm sure I'll fit it in there. I guarantee you, I will find a way to fit Denny Hamlin in there, but it's going to be a really good one. Walter's going to be with me on that one. So make sure you guys are paying attention to that. And again, might do some shorts when more stuff comes out. There's going to be more penalties. We'll see how that all works out. Otherwise, I'll be back Friday with Walter for the weekend coming up at Indy. So thank you for watching. Thank you for listening. Don't forget, up in that corner, there it is, subscribe. But like, share, comment, repeat, follow along. Let me know what you think. And most importantly, share it out for me because that helps so much. Free advertising is the best. So enjoy your week. Be good to each other. Until Wednesday. Peace.